I'm Limin Yuan, Senior Application Scientist here at LI-COR. Today, in this video, I'm gonna talk about how you can clean the chamber bottom. So, for example, if you have flow restrictions, like if your flow as reading is significantly lower than your flow, that may indicate you have a flow restriction, especially if you are sure your chamber is well sealed. So in that case, you can clean the bottom chamber or the flow paths to remove any debris or blockage there. Or if you just finish your field measurements camping, or before you put your device into an extended storage, you may want to do this as well. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, the only tools you will need are simply one small Phillips screwdriver and one foam-tipped toothpick. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is remove the instrument case. So just remove the screws that are used for holding the case onto the device. I have already removed the screws, so I just take off the instrument case. Like that. Okay, next we need to detach the leaf clamp. Just pull this part out straight. Okay, it should be detached by doing that. If it doesn't, just pull harder. It does take some force to detach this part. And you can inspect the clamp and look at the surface, the contact surface, and clean as necessary. You can put it under running water and use some cloth and just wipe it off and then air dry. Remove this gasket, just peel this off and then inspect this gasket. Make sure that the gasket is not damaged. Like check for if any little holes or any kind of visible damage, or if the gasket is dirty, or if you see any contamination sticking on the gasket, put it under running water and then wipe and air dry before you put it back. We do have a gasket spare provided in the spare parts kit. So if the gasket is causing bad leak, or the contamination is not cleanable, just replace with a new replacement. Here you will see the metal cover that is used for holding the flow insert onto the perimeter housing. So you just use your small Phillips screwdriver to remove the 3 screws that are used for holding the metal cover there. And this is the cover. The whole cover will be detached. And you will see this flow insert or chamber insert over here. So before you lift the insert up and detach it from this housing, note the orientation of the insert. You see the little hole should towards to the front. And then you can, so that when you put it back, you can make sure it goes back to the original orientation. Actually, the insert goes just in one way. You see 2 little bumps at the bottom part over here, and that 2 little bumps should goes into the 2 little holes over here. So it just goes in one direction by doing that. And the little holes on the insert over here should align with the smaller gasket on the bottom over here. Okay, then inspect this flow insert. So it should be clean, and there should be two gaskets, two O-rings surrounding for sealing the insert. So make sure the O-rings are in place and in good shape. And then check, make sure the insert is clean and no any debris or dirt accumulated in the flow groove or little hole. And clean as necessary. Again, you can put it under running water to clean and then wipe and air dry this part. Okay, then you have access to check the bottom part of the chamber. Okay, so you see, now you can see the ART sensor for measuring tea leaf. So make sure the sensor is clean and you don't see any contamination sticking on the top of the IRT sensor. If yes, you can use a foam swab and some DI water for cleaning the IRT sensor. That will help you get more accurate tea leaf measurements. And then inspect the little hole, the flow passage over here. Okay, I will suggest you use a flashlight, for example, the flashlight from your smartphone, and then help you check if any contamination, debris accumulated inside there in the flow path. Okay, and if yes, you can use the foam-tipped toothpick or some tools like small tip, something like this, to clean the little hole, the flow passage, like that. Or if available, you can also use canned compressed gas to briefly flush that flow path to clean out the dirt, any dirt contaminations. Okay, if you do see some contamination like inside there, it will be a good idea to remove the RH sensor board to check the flow path over that side. Okay, to access the RH sensor board, you need to remove this small manifold by taking off the three small screws over here. Okay, for my device, the whole part is off together, but please note, actually the manifold, the metal cover, and the RH sensor board, which is this part, the board over here, and the gaskets, they are all separate parts. So there are two gaskets. One is in between the RH board and your parameter housing. So this gasket, now it is attaching to the board. But for your scenario, it may attach to your parameter housing. So just if it's on the housing over here, just use a pair of tweezers to detach, to remove that gasket first and set it aside. Okay, and you have another gasket in between the RH board and the manifold. Okay, so here we suggest you inspect the RH sensor board. When you do that, when you are handling the RH sensor board, make sure you don't touch the metal, the surface, or the four little square on top corners, the metal contact surface. Okay, otherwise your RH sensor, the performance may be affected. So when you handle the RH sensor, always handle on the edges, like that, like this. If you see any contamination on the board, you can clean the RH sensor board. So first, for me, I will need to use a pair of tweezers to remove the gasket first. And then you can use a foam swab to clean the surface, or if doesn't help, you can put the board actually in the water and just wash the board gently, and then you can like make sure the board is air dried, or bake the board in like low temperature oven and for like 1 hour also, and then make sure it is dried out before you put the RF sensor back. We do have another video available that is named Maintaining Your LI-600. More details are covered in that video. Feel free to check that out on our support website. On the housing side, so again, you can use your flashlight and shine into the flow passage, and then inspect the flow path by this way. And if you see any like dirt like accumulating in any of the flow passage, you can use your foam-tipped toothpick and clean the flow path like that. Okay, and that is how you clean the separate components and the flow path. And then you can put everything back together by reverting the steps. Okay, this is how you clean the chamber bottom. So we have other videos available on our support website, so you're welcome to check them out. As always, if you have any question, feel free to reach out to our support team or your local distributor. Thank you.